Hello, my name is Scott Davis. Welcome to New World Birth. This is the care and feeding of a New World Age report for the Gregorian date of October 22nd, 2016, and one e-meesh or crocodile in the Mayan Zolkin calendar, with the Sun entering Scorpio, followed by Mercury entering Scorpio, and the Scorpio New Moon. October 22nd is one e-meesh or crocodile, and it carries the themes of beginnings, Mother Earth, protection and trust, nurturing, primordial energy, new beginnings and information, instincts, primal creativity, water lily, abundance, an essence of nature, beauty, receptivity, and growth. And much like other indigenous people who believed that the earth was carried on the back of a turtle, the Maya believed that our planet was carried on the back of a crocodile who would nurture and protect all life forms. They believed that from this primal force, humans received messages and feelings about our connection to Mother Earth. This 13-day period would be an excellent time to spend in nature and listen to the subtle messages from Gaia. And this being the one crocodile Trisena unity experience through nurturing new beginnings and the beginning of a new Zolkin round, I thought I would talk about the Zolkin calendar, which Ian Lungold referred to as the personal calendar of the Maya. The Zolkin is a 260-day calendar made up of 13 galactic tones numbered 1 to 13 and 20 sacred sun signs. And the combination of these two intentions were so important to the Maya that their J sign was their first name because it set their life's intention. For instance, my day sign is 13 e-meesh or crocodile, which is about moving to the next level through nurturing new beginnings. So that's what I'm here to do. I ascend in consciousness through nurturing others to have new experiences. And if you're interested, Mayan Magics is a great resource for all things Zolkin, including my favorite, the Mayan Calendar and Conversion Codex of Ian Lungold. And this diagram here shows the 20 sacred sun signs, and each sun sign is colored to show its relationship to the four directions and four elements. We begin with crocodile, which is red and connected to the east, fire, and birthing. And then we have wind in white, which representing north, air, and the mind. And then we have night, which is in blue, representing west, water, and endings. And then we have the seed in yellow, which is about the south, earth, and the body. And as we move around the wheel, the pattern stays consistent, going red, white, blue, yellow, red, and so on. And I find it interesting that each Trisena ends with the same direction that it starts with. So the groupings of 13 also follow the same pattern, as we would have the crocodile Trisena is then in red, is then followed by the jaguar Trisena in white, followed by the deer Trisena in blue, and then the sun Trisena in yellow. And if you follow your personal Zolkin, you may know that every 65 days we experience burner days relative to our day sign. For instance, I'm a 13 crocodile, so I experience more growth opportunities on the days leading up to and including 13 crocodile, 13 transformation, 13 monkey, and 13 wisdom, which again follows that same pattern of red, white, blue, and yellow. The colored halos around each of the colors are around each of the day signs, and the squares that connect them together are there to demonstrate the 5 burner sets. And since we are beginning a new Gregorian month during this Trisena, I'd like to discuss the metaphysics of the upcoming month. And November is the 11th month, and with the digits of 2016, when we add them together, we get 11, and then we add the 1 and the 1, which tells us that we are in a 11-2 month, which brings us spiritual quality to the month. Basic numerology reduces the numbers to 1 through 9. So when we think about that, the 2 represents a time that brings increased contact with new people, relationships, and cooperative connections. But it also highlights the need for balance. And the numerology of January and February 2017 repeat November and December of 2016. With January being a 2-month and February being a 3-month. So anyway, the 11-2 combination are represented by the Lust High Priestess Tarot cards, which are about being in our strength and in our bodies while we experience our intuition, independence, self-trust, and self-resourcefulness. Richard Moss wrote in How Shall I Live? To me, wholeness is the key to aliveness. It is more than just a physical vitality. It is a radiance coming from being at one with yourself and your experience. Life then flows through you and radiates from you, which is a real nice description of the strength, lust, energetic. And the High Priestess could be described by this quote from The Prophet by Khalil Gibran: "For the self is a sea, boundless and measureless." So November is a month to be in our bodies and our radiance, as we that in turn empowers our sense of self as we cultivate new connections with others. And before I get into the daily energy for one e-meesh, on the 22nd, we have all the planets moving direct from our perspective here on the Earth, with the exceptions of Chiron, Uranus, and Neptune, which are appearing to be moving in reverse or retrograde. And remember, the themes of retrograde planets are a review of the past, reevaluate, reminisce, and we can see these themes being played out. Chiron retrograde is about reviewing our wounds, and having the courage to open our hearts to any fear or pain associated with our past. So if you find yourself recalling painful events or situations between now and when Chiron turns direct on November 30th, it's advisable to stay conscious with these feelings, even if they're uncomfortable, as they're going to reveal a path to healing and letting go of what no longer serves a purpose in our upcoming journey. And then Uranus retrograde in Aries is seeking to shake our very foundation through the unexpected rebellion of the individual. Uranus in Aries will have people wanting to hurry the process of getting free, to push the river of revolution, whether it be personal or political. Uranus in astrology forces us outside of our comfort zones, so we have to look for possibilities outside of the box. Excuse me. This is about unplanned experiences that disrupt our perceived and planned life path in order to move us forward in our spiritual evolution, both individually and globally. And then Neptune retrograde in Pisces is seeking to transcendence through spiritual experiences. So this is a time to use our spiritual practices to keep grounded as we expand our intuition and consciousness. And both Neptune and Pisces, the sign that rules, tend to be dreamy, imaginative, difficult to nail down due to their qualities of illusion and illumination, often without any way to know which is which. They represent compassion and codependence, selflessness and loss of self, higher purpose and substance abuse, in their inspiration to transcend the material plane and experience something beyond words and thoughts. So let's look at the daily vibrational energy for this Trisena. October 22nd is one e-meesh or Crocodile, which is about unity experienced through nurturing new beginnings in the Mayan Zolkin calendar. And on that day, the sun enters into Scorpio, bringing us to the peak of the season, which is often keynoted as intensity and passion in this fixed water sign. Scorpio is known for substance and drive. It's known for endurance and drive, but also for seeking to find the higher purpose in life. And of course, Halloween and its origin, the pagan holiday Samhain, are about seeing through the veil into the other world, and they mark the midpoint of Scorpio. So this next month, the sun casts more light on subjects like death and rebirth, transformation, sex, regeneration, introspection, psychic experience, and anything that delves below the surface to explore the depths and mysteries while the sun transits Scorpio. The 23rd is 2-ek, or wind, which is about duality experience through communication in the Mayan Soul King calendar. The 24th is 3-akbal, or night, action through contemplating the stars while Mercury enters into Scorpio. So moving across into the new sign. Which brings a questioning and probing intellect that is seeking what is to find out what's beneath the surface. It puts an emphasis on fields like medicine, science, religion, and the occult. Under this influence, folks may feel a greater need to investigate and uncover what was previously could not be known. Mercury in Scorpio is powerful and needs to get to the root of an issue rather than staying on the surface. This may even embrace conflict to fully resolve a problem. I expect communications will be more intense, with an increase in biting sarcasm until Mercury enters into Sagittarius on November 12th. So if you find yourself engaged in conversations that require etiquette and politeness, such as being in court or some form of negotiation, we'd benefit from being conscious of our delivery as well as our words. The 25th is 4-con, or seed, or lizard, which is about stability through planting seeds and making new connections, with Venus in a square to Neptune. So from our perspective here on the Earth, this is forming a 90-degree angle between Venus and Neptune, which is also an alignment between planet octaves. Venus represents personal love, and Neptune representing unconditional universal love. This is romantic imagination is very active under this transit, which can lead to unrealistic expectations regarding loved ones. So please remember, your partner is a mere mortal, and not by not holding him to some impossible romantic ideal that no one could or should try to attain. Relationships that are damaged by this transit are not usually based on reality. This is positive for daydreaming that leads to artistic expression. Overall, we're more likely to feel an expansion of consciousness and empathy, which benefits activities like meditation, music, and art, which may seem transcendent, but not such a great day for business on the material plane. The 26th is 5-Chan, or serpent, movement through empowerment through being flexible. And at this point, we have Venus in a sextile to Jupiter. So from our perspective here on the Earth, they are forming a 60-degree angle, which brings feelings of contentment and benevolence, and it's also a nice sense of being at peace with the world. Friendships benefit from the generosity with activities engaged in at this time, becoming a fair exchange over time. This is also favorable for financial dealings, particularly foreign investments, to agreements related to medicine or legal matters. Friendships or romantic relationships that begin under this influence should be mutually beneficial. Also, this is a very good day for getting together with friends and enjoying enjoying this lighthearted transit. engaging in some form of rest and recreation, and leaving more serious and routine business for another day. Overall, this is really nice energy for family gatherings as the usual conflicts are diminished. Okay, the 27 is 6 Kimi, or transformation, which is about being in the flow through releasing what no longer serves us. And at this point, we've got Mercury conjunct the Sun. So from our perspective here on the Earth, they're at the same degree of Scorpio, which stimulates our social interactions and conversations, particularly with people who are part of our new direction. In Scorpio, this could be related to mysteries and the unknowable. Also, illumination comes from some of the dark places of our minds, which brings forward information that was previously in the shadows. This alignment emphasizes an increase in conversations, although folks are going to be more inclined to talk than listen. Being a conjunction, it brings an initiative to start something new, including starting a new mysterious exploration that may have a business potential, as Mercury rules commerce, and also the exchange of ideas. It also brings a sharpness to the thinking process and is a good time for making plans for the future. October 28th is 7 Manique, or deer, reflection through being of service to others, with Mars sextile Chiron, which brings action to our healing process and energy for letting go of old wounds, particularly pain from the past that was caused from aggressive or sexual experiences. The 29th is 8 Lamont, or star or rabbit, which is about balance through being grateful for abundant relationships, with Mars in a square to Uranus. So from our perspective here on the Earth, this is a 90-degree angle between Mars and Uranus, which is like someone on the sidelines trying to provoke Uranus with aggressive revolutionary energy as the integrity of the old world structures continue to be assaulted, as those in power violently try to suppress the individuals fighting for change and humanity. The days before and after the 29th, when this transit is orb, we would benefit from physical activity to channel some of this reckless, impulsive energy. This is more energy. This is more energy that may bring about completion of old, worn-out situations to prepare for new beginnings. Be cautious of your surroundings, as this transit has potential for unexpected accidents. And then also on the 29th, we have Venus conjunct Saturn. So again, from our perspective here on the Earth, Venus and Saturn are at the same degree of Sagittarius, where love and affection are being tempered by practical considerations. This can have a sobering point of view regarding relationships. Folks may seek advice from older persons, represented by Saturn, regarding relationships, represented by Venus. Saturn's also limitation, so this may be a time of parting temporarily or breaking up. Relationships that begin under this influence are long-lasting and loyal, but not particularly exciting. For relationships that are they're going well at this time, Venus merging with Saturn makes us aware of our commitments, which is good for getting engaged or perhaps working through marital problems. And then October 30th is 9 Maluk, or offering, which is about patience experienced through appreciating all creation. And at this point, we have the Scorpio New Moon merging with the Sun and Mercury and supported by Neptune. The new moon finding support from Neptune brings our innermost subconscious fantasies and daydreams, confusing reality, which is not great for accomplishing much work. And then conjunct Mercury is positive energy for integrating our thoughts and moods. In Scorpio, emotions and passions are intensified. New moons bring an opportunity to set an intention for manifestation on the following full moon. What you want to do is look at the house of your astrology chart that contains 7 degrees, 44 minutes of Scorpio to consider what area of your life is being activated by this new moon. For me, this is my 5th house of children and creativity, so I would expect this cycle to provide new information about my creative process and perhaps my relationships with children. This new moon has great energy for a fresh start, particularly related to spiritual commitment and transformation as we become more aware of our authentic inner selves. The next full moon, which this is leading up to, that full moon on November 14th, is this year's super moon, when the moon is closest to the earth and looks larger, making this new moon particularly potent. This moon is magical and creative, also spiritual, as we approach a time when the veil between worlds is thinnest and shamanic energy is very powerful. Also on the 30th, we have Mercury trine Neptune. So from our perspective here on the Earth, Mercury is forming a 120-degree angle with Neptune, which stimulates creative imagination and brings a deeper sensitivity to the worlds around us. This energetic leads to daydreaming and would be well spent listening to music or reading or writing poetry or romantic literature. Conversations will also not revolve around the practical, but will be more suited to discussions of other worldly spiritual topics and our fantasies, hopes, and dreams. This is not a great energy for accomplishing work, but is wonderful energy for empathy and selfless compassion, with the offer to help others without interest in a personal gain. This is also very good energy for studying art, religion, music, poetry, spiritual, and occult subjects, as we are able to transcend the limitations of our normal rational thinking. The 31st is a 10, auk, or dog manifestation through enjoying family and friends in the Mayan Zolkin calendar. November 1st is 11 Chichan, or monkey, 11 Shuin, or monkey, resolution through creating something new, while we have the sun in a trine to Neptune. Okay, so again, another 120-degree angle, which with Neptune's support of the sun, we're more idealistic and understanding a more spiritual level of reality. This increases our sensitivity to more subtle aspects of the world around us. This is good for spending time alone or engaging in activities like yoga, meditation, working in art, music, or any creative project to explore the more spiritual levels of reality from an emotional and intellectual perspective. It's a great time for studying metaphysical and spiritual subjects and looking at your life to consider how you're doing with meeting your needs spiritually and materially. Idealistic romanticism may be a factor in our relationships today. This transit increases sensitivity to the subtle aspects of reality, with people experiencing a flash of ESP or even other types of mystical experiences. Excuse me. The second is 12 Ebb, or Road, which is about understanding through serving your community in the Mayan Zolkin calendar. And then November 3rd is 13 Ben, or Reed, movement to the next stage through maintaining the home, as we have Mercury in a sextile to Pluto. So from our perspective here on the Earth, Mercury is forming a 60-degree angle with Pluto, which is energy that loves the mysterious and wants to know what cannot be known. Our minds are more active in penetrating below the surface in search of core knowledge, real knowledge, in our search for truth. This is great energy for studying psychology, astrology, occult subjects, and healing techniques that are aimed at regeneration. Folks are certain of their truths and engaged in trying to convince others who are also certain of their personal truth. So this pairing it might be better to focus on your own investigations and save persuading others for another day. So no matter what energies are affecting you during the one Crocodile Trecena, just take some time to be in the flow of the planet by being in nature, watching a sunrise or a sunset, communing with the stars, being conscious of the moment through introspection, meditation, or just really being conscious when you're with someone you love. Every day is a blessing, no matter what dramas beckon to distract us, and we're all here just giving the performance of a lifetime on this world stage. Just take some time to observe the play as well as act your part. So by remembering that you're a spiritual being that's having a human experience. I want to thank you for checking out New World Birth. This is our final segment of the care and feeding of a New World Age. And I will from time to time make some video offerings to discuss topics that I'm interested in. But being that this is our final installment, I would like to thank you for sharing this journey with me. And it has taken shape on some levels due to your comments and questions. And I feel blessed that we've to have had this experience together. I would like to thank Ian Zell-Lungold for introducing me to the Zolkin calendar, Barbara Hand-Clow for her teachings on astrology and the dimensions of consciousness, Ra Urahu for revealing the human design system, Randy Richmond for numerous conversations about human design, Joseph Campbell for his perspective on seeing the unifying truth shared across metaphysical metaphors, Sharon Jorgensen for years of support with radio shows, topics for presentation, and an extra set of eyes when preparing for readings. My friend Mike Shore and the good folks at Mayan Magics, who have supported New World Birth since its inception. Kevin and Katie Bull, who provided the Earth Needs Rebels radio show and were gracious enough to allow me to present monthly for 2 years. Haley Hart, Alicia, and the rest of the keepers at Tree of Life Celebration. William and Viola at Zolking Trecena Notes. Kenneth Johnson of Jaguar Wisdom. The astrologers Robert Hand and my friend Stuart Smith. From the human design community, Teresa Blanding, Alyssa and Mark from the study group, and all the folks that were part of the study groups that I've been in. The various individuals who came to my aid when I bumped into the fascist element of some of the human design groups on Facebook. The White Mountain Hypnosis Center, particularly Michael Hathaway, for providing a local venue for people to explore many metaphysical topics. Sharon Hoope, who made the graphic that I've used for years to show the pattern of Mercury retrogrades. Gita Westerveld for the New World Birth logo, and all the wonderful people from all over the planet who chose to get a reading from me, especially the repeat offenders. Also the folks who made donations, and as always, my family and friends. Many great folks, there's been many great folks that I've connected with on Facebook and YouTube, and my gratitude to everyone is immense. As always, I invite you to contact me at newworldbirth@yahoo.com if you've got any questions or wish to schedule a reading. And I am providing readings and will continue to do so. So if you've been thinking about getting a reading, please contact me. I would love to provide you a reading during these uncertain times. You'll need to be able to either call me in Maine in the USA, or we can connect with Skype to receive your reading. And as always, I'm blessed that you've taken the time to connect with my passion for these ancient mysteries and their application to our journey during this incarnation. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste, in Lakesh. And as I really want to get across, I thank you so much. I really appreciate everybody. Blessings to you.